Nope,
That's
no
all.
beer today. By the way, happy St. Patty's Day, guys.
Oh my God! Showing me shaking my head in my negative 19 feel after that Buffalo game where they Dolphins number one, baby!
Hands up, baby.
Dolphins
Hands
number
up.
one!
I swear, if a certain quarterback is mentioned in the comments, I got my beers ready. I'm going to crack it open.
Or is it the Serbian kid?
Serbia kid, This looks done. Oh my God, it looks fantastic.
I hate you so much. No, you beat man. Gotta beat man. Woo! I'm the man. I said it, and it's reality. All right.
Congratulations.
All right, everybody. Welcome to a new episode of On the Clock. We started off with Dolphins Draft Talk. You're watching this on the Fitz Talk Sports Network. Smash that like and subscribe button. I got the needs up there quick because I wanted to talk about those a little bit. But before that, let's go ahead and welcome our panel of special co-hosts. Got Evan Posner of the Fins Bandwagon. And then you got Michael Vogel of the Fins Bandwagon.
That's right.
What's
The
up,
bandwagon's here, full in effect.
That's right. All
We're
right,
rocking.
all right. Hey, so I had the needs up there. We're going to start talking about, of course, you know, for the Dolphins, started off right before free agency with a bang. Got traded for Jalen Ramsey. Everyone got excited, everything else. Then very eventful free agency, but conservative, boring, not very sexy, you know, not going to make you go nuts. So let me go ahead. So, you know, looking at the needs there, to me, the Dolphins really filled most of those needs. So very quick, Evan, you're looking at this free agency class. Nothing jumps out at you, but how are you feeling about the Dolphins free agent class so far?
I'm happy. Honestly, like we have to remember this. Last season, we were sixth in offense and defense was another story. We couldn't get off the field. This year, they did the complete 180 of what they did last year, and they're pretty much running it back pretty much with the key members of the offense, and they're completely revamping the defense, which is something I did say on previous shows, is that this was more going to be the free agency was going to be more the Vic Fangio show than it was going to be the Mike McDaniel show, and we're going to try to fill up his needs and make him a happy DC. But overall, like I told you yesterday, one of my favorite signings outside of Jalen Ramsey was Braxton Berrios. I told you this last Saturday that I wanted a returner, and when he was released by the Jets, that kind of player who played at the U, who wanted to come to Miami, they got players who want to come here. They filled the needs, and overall, they did what they had to. Honestly, the draft I'm looking forward to, and I don't think they're done because, as you remember, Teron Armstead was not signed until about March 23rd. And then the week after was the Tyreek Hill trade. I still think that, and you've said this also a few times, and Michael could jump in also, I think that they're not done yet. I think there's still, if an opportunity for them to make another move is going to happen, because Dalton Schultz is still sitting out there. There's still guards sitting out there like Feeler. Like if the right fit is going to be there, I don't see them shying away from doing that. The only thing that's holding them back right now is two contracts, which I wish they would find a way to get rid of. That's Cedric Wilson's, but no one, I don't think, wants to touch that unless they're really desperate. And one thing you're seeing with the signings, which I know that my beautiful bearded man in the bottom right is not paying attention, but the fact that Jerome Baker is sitting at $13 million on our freaking when you see what some of the other linebackers are going for. If someone told me, would you take David Long at $13 million or Jerome Baker, I might take David Long. Like, that's the one contract that's really bothering me. Those two contracts eating up $21 million of your cap space is driving me crazy. That's the only two things I'm not happy with.
Let me say this. First off, everyone, again, tuning in, G-Man, Anthony, Steve, everyone, whether on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, thank you all for tuning in. Facebook, smash that like and subscribe button. As you see on the bottom right-hand corner, Dave Stager in the house of Huddle Up and Wait. And
Little Dave!
Little Dave, yeah. I don't know if anybody said that. But one thing I want to say very quick. Before I let Mike,
told me.
Does your wife know you say the Happy St. Patty's Day, Stager?
That's right.
Don't celebrate that potato spud holiday.
Beer and cheese.
That's why I'm wearing all green. That's why.
Have you ever had green eggs?
That's
Oh
green
my God!
egg for you right there, Bobby. Appreciate you.
Are you a Guinness fan or you're not a Guinness fan?
No. American Guinness is crap. If you go over to Ireland, which I actually went to, it's much different.
Yeah.
Cool. Interesting.
It's
Well,
like molasses in the States.
let me just
North
say,
America's like molasses.
Miami's free agency so far, conservative. Again, like I said, boring, but they filled a lot of needs. And you brought it up, something I talked about. What they've done, I know they re-signed their whole running back core from last year, but it's very boring, low income type deals where I don't think it knocks them out of any kind of deal that might happen later on. And it actually sets them up. We're going to talk about how it impacts the draft. I think it impacts them positively towards the draft. Michael, before we get into that, how are you feeling about free agency so far for Miami?
We don't have O-linemen like we need to have O-linemen. And that's all I can say about free agency.
Well, you're big into O-line. So talk to me about Dan Feeney. I know G-Man just brought him up because of his
Love the mullet.
What do you think of Dan Feeney, though?
I haven't done a whole lot of work on him. I just like if we're talking about Tua's blind side, then to me, last year instead of you go out and pay all this money to Armstead,
yep,
you find a right tackle that's just as good and not as injury prone. I mean, I'll take Armstead, but we're more concerned about his blind side, which is the right side. And like Dave has said out there many a times this week that there's not much left in the right tackle well. So
no, there's not.
But if he goes on a Matt Fielder, he's played left guard and he's played right tackle. And I think he's going to take I think you could probably get him on a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
But the one thing I didn't want to do is, which and Dave can also jump in, the market for those tackles so far this year, what Orlando Brown got, what McGlinchey got, it's more than what Armstead's making. And I understand Armstead has injuries concerns, but the man when he was on the field was a stud. Like the O-line market is way overshot. Like if you told me at 51 right now, based on how the market's looking, at 51, I would over Tucker Kraft, I really look at Cody Mock. Like I would really take a hard look at Cody Mock.
So let me ask Dave, as Dave's our resident NFL person. He covers the NFL and not Dolphins gets huddle up and wait. And they had a great show last night. But let me ask Dave, just NFL wise, what moves have been done in free agency that you go, what I thought was going to happen in the draft with certain teams, that's not the case anymore. What moves were the biggest moves that impacted the draft the most, in your opinion?
Well, obviously, Carolina and Chicago first comes to mind with the trade because Carolina obviously needs a quarterback, but they jumped the board. They went straight up the board all the way to 1, and a lot of people were projecting Indy to do it. So Indy's kind of sitting with their thumb up their butt, and now they're saying, oh, there's not a Trevor Lawrence in the draft or a Joe Burrow. So, that's just their excuse because they couldn't get the trade done. And the Raiders were close to making the deal, but it looks like they might just use Jimmy G as a stopgap, and they're going to ride him into next year as well, get their quarterback probably into 2024. So it won't shock me to see a team move up to 3. I'm talking about the Commanders, the Titans, those guys in the team. Yeah. I see them making a
well, jump. They're also the Colts are also spoiled, right? There's no Peyton Manning in the building. In the draft, and there's no Andrew Luck in the draft. Now you got to face. Now you got to face with.
Well, look what they did. You're absolutely right. What did they do? They win. Carson Wentz, Philip Rivers, Carson Wentz, Matt Ryan, and it's all failed experiments.
Yeah.
And now, like Dave brought up, which he's talking about that, it was
Gardner Minshew.
Oh gosh, it's like Dave brought up earlier. What Dave just brought up is what I was working on earlier. I was kind of looking at the draft and kind of playing around a little bit, and I go, man, that 3 spot, Arizona, they want to trade down. They could still get Jalen Carter or maybe Will Anderson. And the team that I thought of, Dave, before I get Daniel, you're absolutely right.
You say Green Bay, I'm logging out.
Green Bay.
But let me just say this, Daniel. Thank you for tuning in. I agree with you. That's my point about the Dolphins draft class. Detroit is the team. The Dolphins.
Really?
Yes.
See what I do for you, Bobby? We're symbiotic, you and me, buddy.
It is. It was the Detroit team.
I knew you were going to
Daniel's right. Dolphins have set themselves up to either go best player available or use that pick in a possible trade. But let me ask you that, Dave. What are your thoughts about Detroit possibly moving up to 3 to go grab maybe Will Levis if CJ and Bryce are off the board?
I don't see it.
You don't see it?
Because they're so bought in with Jared Goff right now that if he takes a crap this year, they still have the Rams pick next year too.
That's a good point. You just messed up my little draft
literally
board there,
have
but
Rams.
okay. No, that's good.
Now
it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
It's absolutely true.
It's a rubber year for them. So if Jared Goff takes off again, they make the playoffs, possibly win the division. Next thing you know, they're like, well, we just need to wait and take someone lower in the next year instead. So then we can go ahead and use Jared still and kind of mentor them, especially watching Green Bay doing it with Rodgers, now Love, sitting them, mentoring them, letting them sit, stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't see Detroit moving. I haven't heard any whispers or nothing like that because they're in the perfect spot. All those teams above are going to – Will Anderson or Will Anderson's probably going to come off the board, and that's not a question.
Let me just say go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish up.
I'll say Will Anderson's going to come off the board somewhere in there. But Jalen Carter's going to fall straight to 6. They don't need to do a thing, and you're going to get a blue chip defensive tackle. He'll be in shape by then. I know it was ugly at his pro day, but that's also on his agent looking at him and saying, what are you doing, dude? They could have postponed that pro day, by the way, and that mess could have been avoided. But I think Jalen Carter's sitting there. I think Jared Goff is going to be set there. If they're going to take a QB, it's going to be late first when they have that pick, or second or their second, Hendon Hooker.
Yep.
That's a great point.
For him.
Thank you, though. That was right on the money. Let me just say, first off, G-Man, always great to see you. That dude is awesome when he pops in. But I want to say, first off, this hat, I actually like this hat. I know. I like this hat because it's Miami-Dade colors. So don't hate on the hat, brother.
Well, Steve, this is the Fins Talk Beard Network. Don't you know that? I'm not taking a shave because it's part of the group. We all have beards here.
Yeah.
Except for what's his name? Except for Rob.
Well, that's right, Rob. All right.
Rob's
so
cheap as they get. So
Daniel, I agree with you. I don't hate the Dolphins moves. I think it's been smart. It's conservative. I know there's ways to pick on it when you go, man, they could have got this guy or this guy or this guy. It's so easy to say that. But for me, I'm looking at it and I'm seeing a team that's kind of filling in the gaps so they have flexibility to do what they need to do in the draft, whether best player available or using that to trade for possibly a running back. And I don't think that's out of the question. I know what they did. They re-signed Raheem, Jeff, Miles, Ahmed. They re-signed them all, but I don't think that stops them. I think Dalvin Cook is still a possibility for the Dolphins. But let's continue moving on because I want to do between Evan and Michael and myself, Dolphin fans, with Dave there, and Dave could react as we're going. We're going to do that live mock draft. Everyone's going to get a little bit of a turn before we continue into on the clock. So before that, though, let's roll and talk about some prospects that might be possibilities for the Dolphins. Okay. And I know somebody who's been watching Tucker Kraft all day. The Dolphins have a need at tight end. Gesicki signed with the Patriots. So Dolphin fans, let's eat our hearts out. So the Dolphins have a need. They did.
This Fins is now a Patriots fan. I saw her buying a Gesicki jersey already today.
Oh, goodness.
This morning.
The Dolphins signed former Denver Bronco, Eric Saubert, right? Is that the right name?
Saubert.
Thank you. Saubert. But, it's really a depth signing. He might surprise us. You never know, but it's a depth signing.
He looks like he could block.
He looks like he could block. So one of the prospects that a lot of Dolphin fans are starting getting on board with, we talked about him way at the beginning with Darnell Washington, who now is rising up boards, is Tucker Kraft, South Dakota State. Tight end, very popular. Michael loves him a lot. I think he'll fit perfectly with this team. Michael, let me go ahead and run this up, and you talk about Tucker. Tell us what you think about him, man.
All right. First of all, 6'5", 255. When you look at Tucker Kraft, you've got a playmaker down the middle, and then he does things that Mike Gesicki can't do. You can put him at the Y position on the end of the line for blocking, and he's a good blocker. You can put him at the H position right off the line for kick-out blocks. They put him at quarterback for quarterback sneaks on 4th and short. And then they also motion him out wide in the slant or not slant, but the outside receiver spot. And the thing about that is almost used like who's the guy from San Francisco that they use in the multiple blocking roles?
Juszczyk.
Juszczyk. Yeah, he's very
Juszczyk.
similar to Juszczyk in that they'll put him outside on that outside slot position and use him in the blocking scheme on outside zone, and that the running back is gone for days on that. So he's one guy that I just sat there and watched film. Like, it was just, in all forms against pretty much anybody I could find. I tried to watch the Iowa film, but that was dog shit. It was ass. It was not a good film to watch on anybody's.
Put it lightly, why don't you?
It was just not. It was not a good film for anybody. But yeah, this guy's a stud, man. You guys, if we can get a hold of him, take him at 51, that would definitely be a go-to there.
Dave, what are your thoughts on Tucker Kraft as a prospect coming out rated as a tight end?
Well, I mean, Mike hit on it perfectly. It's his versatility. He can play almost any spot on the tight end, H-back, like
fullback.
Yeah, you can put it. Well, that's why I say H-back, because
yeah.
It's just that different little inline tight end that you can motion in and put him behind the QB or motion out. Like, he's just – plus, even though Kyle Juszczyk is 6'1", 240, like, Tucker Kraft is 6'5", 255, 260. Like, that's a whole other piece of man coming at you.
Right.
And it's a tank. So if you get him out in the open and get in the flat, I don't care if it's a linebacker. I don't care if it's a safety. I don't care if it's a corner. They're going to make business decisions. And when you get that guy – I mean, he's not a burner. It's just the whole fact of, if you get out in space, he's going to carry 3 guys for 5-6 yards. No question.
Yeah.
And it's going to make defenses shift because he's killing you, getting first downs, moving the chains. It's just going to open up so much. And if you put him in any offense, because a lot of offenses are switching to that Shanahan style offense where they use H-backs, and fullbacks are starting to make a comeback, because I've seen more fullbacks getting signed in free agency this period than I have in a long time.
That's true. Evan, before we move on to the next prospect, your thoughts on Tucker Kraft?
Well, he was my pick when we did the mock. When we did the full draft in the second round, I'm a huge fan. I think he's a dual threat. You can put him anywhere. Like you always said, I think if a guy jumps on him, he'll just carry him. Unlike Gesicki, where if a safety touches the man, he would just keel over and die. So for me, exactly what this team needs, like that kind of a tight end who can play multiple roles. And actually sort of act like an offensive lineman. Also can block. He can do what he needs to do. I'm a huge fan of his. I'm a huge fan of South Dakota right now. I'm a huge fan. Because my 2 top guys right now are sitting there at South Dakota.
There were several plays where, he's got the ball and he's really, it's got that kind of that Mike Mayer type thing where he's got the ball and he's carrying 4 or 5 guys with him down the field, where he's just not going to, somebody's going to bump into him and he's going to go out of bounds. So
let me read this out very quick. I actually posted this today on DolphinsThirsty.com. If you're thirsty for Dolphins content, go to DolphinsThirsty.com. But let's talk about some of the prospects very quick that the Dolphins have met with, either combine or the bowl games or private pro day. Talk about running backs. They met at the combine with Israel Abanikanda out of Pittsburgh. 5'11", 215 pounds, 1,400 yards, 20 touchdowns, had 300 yards receiving with 2 touchdowns. Another back that they met with is Jaleel McLaughlin.
I don't know much about him.
Halfback out of Youngstown, 5'8", 187. We're going to talk about a small back. That's pretty small. We're going to talk about one right now.
All these small guys.
He had 1,500 yards, almost 1,600, about 1,588 yards, 13 touchdowns, averaged 7 yards per carry. Had 12 receptions for 146 yards and a touchdown. The Dolphins actually attended a pro day. That was at the Hula Bowl that they met Jaleel at Youngstown. And they attended Northwestern's pro day and met with Evan Hull.
I like the first name.
5'11", 210 pounds. Interesting. I mean, it looks like he could offer as a receiver and a running back. Had 913 yards rushing and 5 touchdowns. 55 receptions, 146 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Met with wide receiver Elijah Harper out of Adams State at the Tropical Bowl. 6'4", 200 pounds, at 1,400 yards with 13 touchdowns, 94 receptions. Sam Laporta, they met at the combine out of Iowa.
He did
6'4",
well.
6'4",
Did a good
249, 58 receptions, 657 yards, and a touchdown. Tucker Kraft, just talked about him. They met with him at the combine. Anthony Bradford out of LSU, offensive tackle at the combine, 6'5", 345. One of Michael's favorite players, John Michael Schmitz, center out of Minnesota, met him at the combine. Player that intrigues me, Mike Morris. They have it scheduled to meet with him, edge rusher out of Michigan, 6'6", 292 pounds, 23 total tackles, 7 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 3 pass deflections. Carl Brooks, defensive tackle, Bowling Green, private workout, 6'4", 300 pounds, 49 total tackles, 10 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, 4 pass deflections. Probably a name we should keep an eye out for. Broderick Martin, defensive tackle, Western Kentucky. That was at the Shrine Bowl. 6'5", 330, 31 total tackles, and 1.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 2 pass deflections. DeMarvion Overshone, linebacker, Texas.
You
we
like
know
him.
about it. Yeah, 95 total tackles, 4 sacks, 5 pass deflections. 6'4", 224. Fits perfect with the Dolphins defense. Dax Hollywood, linebacker, Virginia Tech, Tropical Bowl. 82 total tackles, 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 2 recoveries, 6 pass deflections. Kali Ringo at the combine, corner out of Georgia. We knew about him. 42 total tackles, 2 interceptions, 1 forced fumble, 7 pass deflections. Julius Brents, another corner at the combine. Love his size, 6'4", 202. But he's probably
Dave likes him.
Love
like him.
Love
What do you
it.
like about him? What do you like about him?
his size. He's able to move his hips for such a big guy, real smooth. And it's just, I don't get how you're that size and have that length, and you're able to kind of switch your hips. It
but there's no way this guy's going in the second round, right? We think he's going to drop. He's going in the first. Do we think?
Julius Brents, no. I still think corners are not sought after. Christian Gonzalez is that bar to me. Like that's that.
Yeah, Christian Gonzalez. Love that kid out of Oregon.
You're going to see some in the teens. You're going to see some sprinkled in the 20s. I just don't see Brents going in the first. I see second is where I see him picked. Probably about earliest second, maybe like 5th or 6th pick in, but all the way to mid. So you guys should have got at him.
Miami might have a shot.
But I don't see them going safety again. Honestly, I don't see them going. I don't see one secondary player.
I think with Miami, I don't agree with you on that. I think Miami is setting them up to go any player, that best player available.
I know, but I don't see them going deep.
But Fangio defense, 3 corners is very important.
Absolutely. Alex Austin.
They have 5 corners.
Alex Austin, corner out of Oregon State. He's the next one. Of course, this could be updated over time. That's the last guy I have on here. Oregon State, Alex Austin, 6'1", 191 pounds, 57 total tackles, a sack, 2 interceptions, 1 fumble recovery, 10 pass deflections. So there you go. So go to DolphinsThirsty.com to go ahead and take a look at that. Write that list down, and as it updates, you can update yourself. I don't think, again, what Miami did with the secondary obviously is very deep. Safety, everything else, it's deep. I don't think it stops them from going that route. Jordan Battle, Julius Brents. I think Miami could
Brett
go
will
that
get
route.
on your quicker than hell if you mention Jordan Battle.
I know. All of a sudden he'll pop on here. Yeah. So we talked about McLaughlin or McLaughlin, whatever his last name is. Butcher him. But that's a small back, 5'8", 172. We're going to talk about another small back that's a Brett man crush. But since Brett's not here, I'm going to let Michael take it over. Let's talk about Deuce Vaughn. And then Dave, you could follow up once.
He doesn't like him. He doesn't like him.
Dave can't hide his face. Dave is.
I'll be interested to hear Dave's stance.
All right, Dave, go ahead. You go first, and I'll let Michael set it up.
He's too small. Like listed at 5'8", that dude is 5'6".
Look at that speed. Look at this.
He's 5'6".
Yeah.
Okay, speed, whatever. And then guess what? He goes to the NFL, he's going to get murdered. Linebackers and safeties run that fast. I'm not a big fan on him. He's going to be a tiny little scat back for someone, maybe a punt returner. I don't see him being this elusive type back. That's not me. That's why I'm like, I shouldn't be the guy for this because I'm not a Vaughn fan.
That's okay.
He's a bigger fan of Ricky Vaughn.
Yeah, so watching film on him and stuff in college, he was very, very shifty. He's elusive. He's hard to bring down. You got somebody getting ready to tackle him, and he jumps out of the tackle, and he's on to the next level. But again, like what Dave says, he's small, and that's I see maybe him getting a start as a kick returner, and seeing if he can't make it from there. But the size is the thing that would worry me a little bit. But he's got great hands out of the backfield. He catches the ball well in traffic.
Awesome.
All we need is another small back. I can tell you that. That's all we need.
So what we're gonna do now, and I see people in the comments
Can
that apologize.
I have-
Go ahead,
can I
Dave. Yeah.
Can I have a comparison to my comparison for Deuce Vaughn? Even though this guy's really talented, but he went on the league really quick. Tariq Cohen was good for
Yeah.
The Bears. It was the Bears,
Interesting.
yeah.
fell out
Interesting.
and just fell apart
Yeah.
because of the size. When you're that small at 170 pounds, when you
Jakeem
get
who?
that speed and
Jakeem
size
who?
from the NFL,
Yeah.
when you get defensive tackles that run as fast as you in the NFL, you're going to get obliterated when 350 pounds comes crashing down.
Jakeem Grant also.
Yeah.
He's also not been able to last because of it.
So, and that's another Chicago Bear. All right. So as we
Well,
move
former
on,
Miami Dolphin. Should we answer? When do you want to answer G-Man's question, or we're going to leave it to the end?
I haven't seen. I'm not. That's what I was about to say. I'm
G-Man's
not looking at the
sober
comments
tonight.
because I'm
I
doing
appreciate
He
so
has
many-
to. Well, why hasn't Wilkins been extended yet? I can answer that. You can answer that. We can all answer that.
I could definitely answer that right now.
Answer it.
I know because you want to trade him.
No. He is a elite run stuffing defensive tackle. He's amazing at it, but he wants Aaron Donald, Deron Payne money. He ain't gonna get that because he don't pressure the quarterback well. He don't get after it well. Like centers can sit there all day long and just, especially pass protection, he doesn't get through the line. Like when my Packers played him on the run, he was a pain in the ass to try and run against. But in pass protection, Aaron had all day.
But I would make one comment about him is that I think he'll end up getting what he wants because he was the first foundational piece back in 2018. Like he was the first guy there, so I think they're going to do everything they can to keep him. I think they will get him on the contract. But one thing that does hurt him, watching every single snap of every single minute of last season, his success was a lot tied to Zach Sealer. Like those two have sort of a combination there. So like the same way I always talk about how McDaniel and like those two are a combination. Like those two not together. When one was not on the field, the other one didn't play as well. They're very reliant on each other. So I think if they're both going to get extended, they're both going to get extended at the same time, and they have to do a balancing act. They can't afford to keep both. And I think if I love Christian Wilkins, but I wouldn't give him 15, 16 million. Like the problem also, like I said, they'll give him that money. The problem is they're stuck with Baker's contract.
Can I tell you why I think
so it's a game of chicken right now.
Can I tell
It's a
you
game of
why
chicken.
Let me just tell you, I love Christian Wilkins. If you could get him on a good, you got to give him what he's owed. But if you could get him on
He
a
wants more than
friendly
Baker
deal,
for sure.
Hold on. Do you want to give him a friendlier deal? I'm cool with it. But I think I wouldn't be surprised if they lean towards keeping Zach Sealer at a cheaper deal and then going and drafting a defensive tackle to replace Wilkins and then trading him to get some picks later on. I have a feeling I don't have any kind of thing. I have a feeling that's how it's going to play out. If they
But
keep
it's a
him,
foundational
awesome. But I could see where that situation, especially when I'm looking at the draft visits and I see private visit and I'm seeing another defensive tackle. I think Miami is doing their homework because they're going, okay. That's right. I think they're doing their homework to say, okay, if we can't give him this deal, keep Zach Sealer at a cheaper contract. Sealer is very underrated. He's a huge piece of this defense.
He just wants a new RV.
Yeah, you probably
Give it
get
to
him a lot cheaper. Yeah, and you let Christian Wilkins get some picks for him, and you go ahead and draft another D tackle because the draft there's some good D tackles who could come in and make an impact.
In the end, if Vic Fangio walks into Chris Greer's office and says, "I need Christian Wilkins as my foundational piece on the defense," they're going to sign him to whatever he wants. In the end, it's up to Fangio what he wants on his defense because I think he's really giving carte blanche. Go for it, Dave.
Fangio's defense, though, he needs defensive tackles that can pass rush.
Yeah.
That's what he's had his whole entire career as a defensive coordinator. If you go look at any of them,
But that, by the way,
be able to get.
But that's why part of the reason why. So I understand your point. That's why they let go of Landon Roberts because Landon Roberts was great at stopping the run, but the man couldn't do anything in pass coverage for his life.
So why keep a guy that does the complete opposite when you can't do both?
No, I'm saying Christian Wilkins and Landon Roberts are very similar in that sense. They're very good at stopping the run. So yes, the thing is though that Christian Wilkins is that foundational piece that was since the rebuild. So they're sort of like loyal to him in that sense.
But overpaid
Right now,
hurt teams though, and the next thing you know, in 2 years you got to trade him, and you're taking $10 million dead cap while only getting $1 million.
They're playing a game of chicken right now. It's a game of chicken.
I would use it as a trade piece for a running back. That's just me.
And you know what? I don't think.
Sorry, I didn't mean to, yeah.
No, you're right.
I think
I'm not questioning you. I'm not disagreeing
we'll
with
keep
you.
it moving. We'll keep it moving because I don't want to get stuck because we're about to do the mock drafts. But let me just say, everyone tuning in, first off, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Smash that like and subscribe button.
I
Anthony
don't like
got a full
Raekwon
house
Davis
tonight,
at all. I hate Raekwon Davis, but that's okay.
but I appreciate you
What
watching.
an underachiever that guy
All
is.
right.
What an underachiever.
So let's go ahead and share this. Dave, you can react as you go. It's going to be.
I'm not sure what
Dolphins
we're
mock.
doing, so we'll pay attention.
Yeah,
I
pay
wasn't
attention.
listening.
I'll let Michael go first, and I'll explain
Oh,
what's going on.
I'm
So, all right,
confused.
Michael,
Vogel.
you guys, do you see everything?
I do.
Okay,
I
so
do.
what we're gonna do, Michael's gonna start first. Michael, you are the general manager. Chris Greer has been fired. You're in charge of the draft. Okay, you can make.
Wait, Bob,
whatever-
Brett's coming on. He's having a party.
Yeah. So, and then afterwards we'll get Evan, and then myself, and then Dave. You could react to these picks as you're going, or follow up. Say, hey man, I thought this was the best draft class, or whatever, as we go.
Michael is your assistant GM. Lombardi phasing you a pick 51 Hendon Hooker if he's there.
There you go. So, all right. So this will go back pretty fast. Now, trades. As the trades come in, you could accept the deal. You could do what you want. Okay. So let's.
Defense fun. I love their simulator.
Yes, I love their simulator. All right, here we go.
Whoa, we're flying through the board.
We are flying. And let me just say this, guys. I can't see anything. I can't see you, and I can't see any of the comments. So forgive me. All right, Michael, you got a trade offer from the Cleveland Browns. They're giving you pick 98 and a 2024 second and seventh round pick.
Negative, Ghost Rider. I'm all about this.
Negative. So we're rejecting the deal. So
Good
here,
Browns.
here you go. So these are the players of the board. We got 2 defensive tackles on the top of the board. Charbonnet, a running back there at 40 at the 3rd spot.
Because I'm not Greer, I want to see what you've got for offensive linemen that are available.
Let's go offensive tackle.
Ooh, Jalen Duncan's a stud.
Jalen
Duncan's
Duncan's
off the
there.
board already.
Blake Freeland, Warren McGlinden, who's somebody he could play right tackle. Carter Warren, that we probably get him later. Let's go to offensive guard. Jarrett Patterson, Notre Dame guard. I like him. Steve Ovela.
If Cody Moxer, just take him.
Well, that's what I was
He already
looking
taken.
for, but I don't see
I don't
him.
think he is. He's
Where
not.
was he? Can you scroll up? When was he taken?
You could type in the name there in the bar above the players.
Yeah. Cody Mock was taken
Oh
with the
my God, he
first
went
pick.
32. Holy
I
crap!
told you he's gonna. He's not
All
gonna
right.
be available at 51, y'all.
So go offensive tackle and give me Red Rover, send Duncan right over.
Jalen Duncan off the
Yep.
board. Dolphins get a tackle.
Yep, I'm gonna
Possibly
switch
the
him
right
over
tackle
to-
spot. All right,
Yep.
we're at 84. Here's your okay. We got 2 trades. The Vikings say pick 87, 158 for 84, 238.
Not bad for 3
And-
spots.
2 spots down. You get 8. You get 2 spots. You get a 7th round pick for next year.
What was the first one?
I would take that. It gives
Yeah,
y'all
I would
another.
take
Yeah.
that one.
Give
That's
me
round
give me the Vikings trade.
So the Dolphins are going to drop 3 spots down in the second, 3rd
Hold on.
round. Excuse me.
Now for this, who's on the board?
Oh, we got another one there.
Why don't we give Dave his own mock draft?
That
I'm
would
not
be-
telling Michael what
No.
to do. I just want to see.
Reject. I don't want that. Trade.
Okay, so here we go, Michael. You're at 87 right now. Can you see the players available?
Jordan Battle's there staring at you.
I can.
Sam Laporta's on the board.
I know.
The kid out of Pittsburgh, Israel,
Why don't you go see Rizzo Abubakanda or whatever his name is?
the running back.
I'm gonna go tight end, Laporta.
Laporta. All right. So go tackle and tight end. We're moving down here. Do me a favor, Michael, or whoever. If somebody has a pen and paper, write down Michael's draft, please. 'Cause I
All
want to
right.
compare at the end. All right, 158. Eric Gray, Oklahoma running back. I like him. You drafted a tight end. Got Corey Trice, another big body, tall tight end, quarter, out of Purdue.
Ooh, this is hard for me to see on my tiny little phone, but we're gonna make it work.
Ooh, Shoemaker's there too. That'd be a double dip at tight end.
I know. I'm the GM. I
You're
like
the
I'm
GM.
offering my
You're-
assistant GM advice. I am a huge KJ Henry fan. He's one Clemson edge I love, and he plays the run so well. And I know Fangio adores that in his defense.
Yeah.
Now I'm not saying do it. I'm just saying that's what I
No,
would.
I agree. I would agree with that.
Edge rusher, I think, is a huge possibility. I
Yeah.
think Dolphins will do it.
Give me the edge rusher. Give me the edge.
But also,
okay.
McDaniel said he would take an edge rusher in every draft.
That's right. That's true. So there you go. Edge rusher there. That's a
What
good
did he take?
Steal there.
What was his name?
KJ Henry at Clemson. 197. I think this is the final pick because you traded. Yep. So you're up at 197 instead of 238.
What we got in the running back?
Oh, there's Hunter
committee of
Lupke.
Hunter Luke's there at the top.
Oh, that might be
let's go
hard
ahead.
to pass up.
Keaton Mitchell, Mohammed Ibrahim.
Mohammed
Chris
Ibrahim,
Rodriguez.
yeah.
He was a little bit of a draft crush of mine, Ibrahim.
That's right.
Muhammad. Yep, give me him.
All right. There you go.
Muhammad Ibrahim.
And that is it. So there you go. So Michael's draft class, Jalen Duncan out of Maryland, offensive tackle. Sam Laporta at 87, tight end, Iowa. Then at 158 goes edge rusher KJ Henry on the advice of his assistant GM, Dave Stager. And then Ibrahim?
My career's on the line, okay?
Yeah.
That's my
Running back out of Minnesota.
I'm offering up to Michael. That's my
There
one.
you go. All right, so then we'll move this along here. I love things like I love doing this. So, all right, let's speed
I could
it.
do this for hours, just sitting there. And
So now this is Evan Posner. Evan Posner is now the general manager of the Miami Dolphins.
Well, the team's going to the tank.
Evan, do you want assistant GM advice if you need it or no?
Yes.
Okay.
I love you, Dave. You know that.
Evan, I just want to make sure you know this is
Oh!
American. This is American football.
Whoa.
Not Canadian.
So look at this. Look at this.
Oh.
So you're gaining a pick. The Saints are offering 71, 115, and 146 for 51 and 238. So that's your first trade.
What's the other offer?
This is 51.
I'll take the Saints offer.
All right. So we're
Good
going to
call.
go ahead. Love it. So you gain a pick here. So we're going
But
to
draft a little later.
71.
Okay.
Oh, we got another trade.
Ooh.
Two
Hold on.
trades. So
I would-
Cleveland's doing their best to trade up.
I don't want Cleveland's off. That's awful.
Okay.
No, thank you.
San Francisco is calling Chris Greer, Mike McDaniels.
I'd say no, but
buddy
I see a
Shanahan.
name that would flip the whole Christian Wilkins thing in my
Okay,
opinion.
I'm not taking that. I'm not taking it.
Who?
Okay.
I'm not taking this trade.
He doesn't want the trade. All right.
All right.
I was going to offer Gervin Dexter. It was a absolute
No,
monster.
I know who I want. I'm going with my draft. Give me Tucker Kraft.
Tucker.
Hendon Hooker.
I'm not taking a quarterback.
I didn't say that. I said Gervin Dexter.
I'll let you make the next
Wait,
pick.
here.
Okay, I'll let you.
Got another trade here.
Yeah, I'll
88.
do that.
So only trading down a few. Hooker's still on the board here.
Michael.
Whoa! Okay,
Why couldn't I have this
Oh,
draft?
that's a no. Yeah.
Not to know. Absolutely.
that's right. Michael was. Why couldn't I have this trade? All right.
I'm going to take Hendon Hooker.
Yay!
All right.
Evan just got in the VIP party.
Oh man.
By the way, if he's sitting there at 51, I might still take him there. I don't know.
All right, here
Honestly,
we go. So let's just review right now. We're at pick 115. Evan has gone. He's made a couple trades. 71 gone Tucker Kraft. 88 shocks the Dolphins world. Twitter's blowing up.
I already can see who I want. I already know who I'm taking. Give me Overshown. Give me
right
Overshown.
Overshown.
Who?
Overshown.
Over Kendra Miller?
Yes.
Wow.
I knew what I was doing. I knew what I was doing there.
All right, here we go.
Yes, I'll make that trade. Hey, how about this? Dave, I'll let you make the next pick. You can decide this
Whoa!
one.
Hey, look
I
at
wanna
this.
make this pick.
You got two picks. This is up to you.
I'll make that trade. One more
I
pick for me.
mean,
Son
We'll-
of a-
we'll be-
look at
we'll be-
this crap.
Okay.
I'm not doing this trade. No,
Alright,
thank you.
If you didn't take a defensive tackle, I highly recommend right now Zach Pickens should be on your team. He is a
Zach
stud.
Pickens. Fine, here, take Pickens. Take Pickens.
You know what?
He is
I love this pick. This guy is going to be an impact player. 6'4", 304. I was just reading up and watching on him yesterday. I love this pick.
You didn't take him yet.
Just shut your mouth. Go, Colby Wooden's there.
He
Like
said the
that.
draft automator's slow.
Let's see here.
Ooh, wait a
would
second.
you take
I
Peoples?
see a
Steve Malloy said, "I'm proud of you, Evan." After the Hooker pick.
I can't see the comments. That's awesome.
I'll take. I love him. I really think he's a lot of fun. I would take Cameron Peoples.
Okay. There you go.
I'm driving him nuts.
All right, here we go.
You make the next pick.
Evan,
It's not my
We-
draft.
We need linemen.
Do we really?
Okay, go on the Dolphins and click on their logo, Bobby. You can
All
see
right.
that they're who they drafted so far.
So here we
Running
go.
back,
Tucker
defensive
Kraft at
tackle,
71. Tight
running
end
backer.
went quarterback. Who
Evan,
would
you
have
have
thought?
8 picks after
Who
all the
would have
trades
thought?
on
Hold
the
on.
draft.
Who would have thought that Evan, of all people, would go quarterback at my number 88? I love 88. It's my favorite number. He goes Hendon Hooker, shocks the world. Goes linebacker,
He has
overshown.
8
Love it.
picks after the trades.
Zach Pickens, defensive tackle. Then Cameron Peoples goes running back. All right. So you got how many picks left? I'm sorry. 3 picks.
He has 8 picks.
You know what?
total.
What do you think? Tell me a little bit about what do you know? What do you know? Stager? Anything about Struggs or Keeper or Kipper? Anything?
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Anthony
You draft.
Bradford, offensive lineman from LSU, met with the Dolphins. That's one of the guys they met with. He's on the board.
Drafted a lineman. Screw that. What drafting a lineman in the draft?
Hold on. Have you taken an edge yet in this draft?
Nope.
No.
Nope. Okay.
Yaya
Dabi.
There's DeMarco Hellams is a really nice safety that plays in the box, which I know.
Alabama. Dolphins.
Yeah,
from
take the
Alabama.
Marco Helms. I want to take
There's him. I would take him or Yaya Diaby.
No, take. You take him?
All right. 227.
I'm not used to the Dolphins having this many picks. Holy crap.
Poor Michael.
We're going with 4.
What about Carl Brooks?
Trying to-
Lee Cunningham, QB Shepard. Scroll down a little bit.
Ooh, Josh Wiley, fun tight end. That'd be a double down there to make sure you guys have.
Yeah,
something.
Josh Wiley. I want another tight
I
end.
do like that. Yeah.
He is a inline guy, and that would allow Tucker Kraft to play split out or be that H-back and be able to be a more versatile weapon.
So
And,
I believe this is your
238.
last pick here, 238. Cam Jones.
I
sitting
took
with
an edge already, right? Look, click on the Dolphins. I took an edge.
Moro Jomo.
No, I know you didn't. You took a safety.
Okay, go back. Who's left at edge?
Well, let's go to edge.
I don't know. Believe me, I don't know.
Hold on.
Believe me much.
Dun, 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 dun.
Trying to look. The freaking letters are so small.
Oh, these are all undrafted guys. Forget that. Go best player available. Who's best player available?
Cam Jones.
Yeah, I'll take
Linebacker.
Cam Jones, another linebacker. We can always use another linebacker.
So there you go. How about that?
Wait,
So everybody,
wait,
please.
wait.
I don't know if anybody's doing it, but I'm sure they are. Put in your comments what you think of Evan Posner's draft. Tucker Kraft, Hendon Hooker,
Michael, I'm
Overshown.
sorry you fired.
Cameron Peoples, DeMarco Hellams, Josh Weil, and Cam Jones. I like it.
Because I'm just telling you right now, my overall, as you notice, I didn't take an offensive lineman. I honestly do not trust the Miami Dolphins to develop linemen. Go get veterans for this season. I swear. Just go get veterans.
All
With
right.
Butch Barry as my offensive line coach, I don't want him to haze any other player. I don't need another Eichenberg. I don't need another Jackson. Unless Mock or a stud is there at the 3rd round, forget it.
All right.
Now remember,
So,
Larry
Of course,
Tunsil-
Manzano, you kicked off the bandwagon.
Can I offer this? Laramie, even though we didn't draft an offensive lineman like early, Laramie Tunsil's still up for trade. Miami could swing in there and offer.
I
him
know.
4 first,
So-
get our second this
Would
year.
he go to right tackle though?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I listen. I love Armstead to death. I would move Armstead to right tackle. It's less beat up on him. Move.
I love you, Steve.
Bring Tunsil back. Yep.
Purple
I like
at
it.
left tackle.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Are you doing your draft, Bobby, without even talking to us?
you guys were talking over me, so I'm just waiting you guys out.
Wow, Steve just had a
All right.
firing
So I
for his
rejected
mistake.
2 trades. I was not going to trade.
What do you
Buffalo.
think, Michael? Do you like my draft?
Yeah, except you didn't have any linemen.
Oh, true, Steve.
I don't. You trust linemen in the
They
draft
are
of the Dolphins? Are you kidding me?
So, all right. So for me, I'm sticking at 51, and even though they
Gold.
just they signed David
There's
Long,
gold.
I'm still going to double down on linebacker here. I'm going Drew Sanders out of
Dude,
Arkansas.
you're getting a field general right there, baby.
All right, so now we're going to pick 84. All right, let's see what we got here.
For a 7th only move up.
Nope.
Ooh.
You
It's
know
the
what?
move up
Well,
80 spots to the 118.
we're going to take that trade because I can move up. All right, nope, not trading you for what any. Don't give a damn what you're offering. All right,
That's right.
so
Fuck the East. Oh, I'm sorry. My language. I apologize.
So-
Wow. MV, what you doing, baby? Why you swinging like that?
all right. Why so mean? Let's see.
I'm not doing business with anybody in the East. Sorry about you.
That's right. I agree. I'm no hell no. I'm going with my guy here. Love him. I'm going with Israel Abinakanda out of Pitt.
Absolutely.
Love that pick. Definitely roll with that. So there we go.
How big are his hands? Bigger than Kenny Pickett's? No one likes that joke.
Old and overused, Evan. It's like a donkey behind a woodshed.
All right, so the Cowboys, I rejected. I did accept one trade, and now the Cowboys are offering a pick. You know what? I am going to do this because I gain a pick. I will do it. Oh!
Whoa!
Wow! The Giants.
Okay,
Hold on.
Giants.
Who's on the board? Who's on the board they want?
Well, Chase
That's
Brown,
the question.
Jacqueline Roy.
Chase Brown, the safety from Illinois, is an absolute stud. Or wait, no, running back. I'm sorry, I was thinking Cindy Brown. Chase Brown's still like a running back, but you got Amenaconda. I would have done that. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Did you take the trade?
Back-to-back picks here.
Heck yeah.
Back-to-back picks. And you know what?
There's Kenny McIntosh. I think Manzano and G-Man are
He's
going
already
to
got Amenaconda, though. He just took the Amenaconda.
I know, but they're all going to go nuts.
Hold on. Go back up, Bobby. I saw a name.
Go
Zach
get Coombs.
Pickens is there as y'all defensive tackle if you haven't taken one yet.
I'm looking at Zach
Roshan
Pickens.
Johnson sitting there. Oh, I love Roshan. But
We need tight end still.
That's true. If we go to tight end, you know what?
Dane
I like
Durham
Durham.
is an
Let me see
underrated
where I'm at
tight
here.
end,
Hold on a
Josh
second.
Wiley. There's a
You know
couple
what? I could wait
I
on
agree.
tight end. I know where I'm going with tight end.
Because yours is taken
Cameron
off the board.
Latou. He's waiting for Cameron Latou to pop up.
No, Latu's gone.
Was he
All right.
gone?
Yeah, he's gone. And in honor of Michael, let's take a look over here.
Who's
Do we know what? No, wait on. I could look at that dude. You know what? I'm gonna go Jackson Kirkland here, offensive tackle. That's what I'm rolling with.
All right.
Damn, that was
I don't
pretty
like the
fast.
time change. Kenny Mack. There we go. There goes G-Man.
Well, I got a running back already.
I know that.
I'm not a fan of Kenny McIntosh.
I know he doesn't have great stats. Honestly, I'm also nervous about people who didn't play a lot of Georgia. Channing Tindall, maybe
Wait, what pick are you?
166.
166. And let me see where I'm at
They're
here.
just eating ice cream. That is the comment of the day. Oh,
We still need an edge rusher.
Okay, Robert Duvall.
I'm looking at an edge rusher. I'm wondering if I might be all right. What do you guys think of Baldonado out of
I
Pittsburgh?
like Durham. Also from Purdue.
Durham is a underrated guy people have been talking about in the last couple
Yeah,
of weeks.
he
I'm
did-
watching him. I'm watching him.
He did well at the Senior Bowl. I think it was the Senior Bowl.
Garrett Williams, I'm a Q's fan.
Yeah,
That
I
guy
can't
is
pass Garrett Williams. I'm going Garrett Williams with that pick.
That guy's fun.
Hey, guess
okay.
what? It's your turn to pick again.
Yeah, right. I know.
You traded for 8,000 picks.
I'm good with it.
That's good. Hey, whatever.
No, I'm not dissing it. I'm just saying, like, I can't
Wow,
believe the
that is
Giants
a
hold up.
lot of-
Okay,
Ooh.
so I am with this pick.
What's up, John?
So, see, they took my edge rusher, and then you know whatever. All right,
There's Hunter Lupke.
I see him.
How do you guys feel about the wide receiver position after Hill, Waddle, Berrios, Craycraft? Like, how do you guys feel about that?
Wilson, I'm okay. I still think they're going to sign one, but
Hunter Luke, I'm going for him.
the thing for me, the biggest problem they have right now
Man.
is I think they're biting their tongue right now. They'd love to bring back Sherfield, but the goddamn contract of Wilson, honestly, if they could unload that for a seventh, they would unload it right now. That $7 million hit is killing them right now. They regret that trade for the rest
I'm going
of
to go offensive guard Antonio Maffey from UCLA.
Yep. Good pick. Good pick.
Thinking of my boy Michael, man, when I do that.
That's right. That's right.
All right.
Go
so
take,
at
yeah,
240
by the way, you haven't taken a quarterback. You're done?
I haven't taken a quarterback yet.
Go take a
haven't
quarterback. Go. Where's Dorian Thompson-Robinson? Go take him.
Well, stop it. 240. I got two more picks.
He did well at the combine.
I'm going to double down on linebacker Enfernay Orje.
Yep.
Like him a lot.
Orgy, Brett's high on him.
Yep.
Do you know that Farley Dickinson is leading Purdue?
And
Yeah, they are. Yep.
Holy crap.
let me make sure I didn't do this. All right, for my last pick, I'm going tight end Davis Allen out of Clemson.
No quarterback?
No quarterback. You're the
What's
only
wrong
one.
with you?
You traitor. You're a betrayer.
Hey,
You're a
Steve,
traitor
you
to
fire him?
2-1.
Steve, who's
You're
a better GM?
Tua.
Steve, who's a better GM? Steve,
See,
who's
look,
a better
no,
GM?
Bobby saw you did it, so he's like, I don't have to be the bad guy here. I'm
You're
gonna
damn right.
Mr.
Damn right.
Bandwagon.
Hey,
But
write down
Michael
these
likes
picks.
me. Michael,
Write
come
down
on,
these
you like
picks.
me for that.
Write down the picks. Because you've been
Well, you
doing
can't
all this.
save him?
Just
Nope.
write down the damn picks. That's
Someone's
Yeah,
right.
Evan,
I
I
don't
don't
try
have
to write
it.
them down.
I don't have anything to write with.
Oh, you.
I'm not
guys.
writing them down.
Horrible. I knew you
That's
wrote
a
down
tough-
the Michaels
Because those were good picks.
I only had
You only
3
had
picks.
4 picks. Yeah, you only had 4 picks.
traitor. All right. Let me go ahead
That's a
and
good draft, though.
it is.
It's all right.
Oh, stop it, you hater. You went
I think we
quarterback.
should let. I think
We should really let Stager go. Come on, give him a shot.
let Stager go for.
Yeah?
Let Stager go for the Dolphins.
Okay.
Packers.
All right.
And as a
Packers.
special treat and on the clock, we're going to let Stager do the Packers. How about that? We're going to let him do the Dolphins, and then during on the clock, we're going to all do the Packers. Wouldn't that be awesome? We get to do the Packers. That'd be
Michael
awesome.
Mayer, tight. I mean, in Jigba.
I swear to God.
All right. So wait,
Anthony Richardson, quarterback.
hold on,
Florida.
everybody stop talking. Everybody stop talking. Dave, would you be interested in doing a Dolphins mock?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Let's roll with it. Okay, I like that because
Okay, good.
that's totally unbiased. So everybody, don't let him talk. Let
We're
him make
not,
his picks.
we're not going to say a word.
I'll
I
believe
trust
it when I
him.
see it. I'll
His
believe
draft,
it when
I believe in his draft more than yours.
Screw
so
you,
it's okay.
G-Man.
You're a hater. My
I
draft
love
is
you.
legit.
I love you. Why do you think I grew the beard for you today?
All right. We're at pick 51. They're offering 51 and 38 for 98 and a second round pick for
Heck
next year.
no. Reject the hell out of no. I don't need
Okay.
a 2024 third.
All right. So Dave, you're on the clock here. Ooh, I like that. I like Ika.
I know I'm gonna take Cody Mount.
Oh, look who's there.
Finally,
I didn't
he's
see him.
finally there. He's finally there.
So what you're saying, it could happen. Okay, here we go. One trade, 84, 88, 230.
Yeah, no.
All right.
Here, but hi. Hi, Tati.
Tati
So
here.
far, the worst draft so far is your husband's.
That's not true.
Oh,
That's not true.
man. That is a really
Ooh, Dalton
Yeah.
Okay, can I
Kincaid on
just
the
say?
board.
Can I just say very quick?
round. I'm gonna have to take Kincaid just because of the value, and he is such an athletic tight end.
Yes,
Like
he
you
is.
can find an inline blocker later.
Unbelievable. Can I just say very quick? I'm going to do it. Awesome. The only thing about Kincaid is he can't block, and the Dolphins need a block.
That's why I said you can get an inline blocker later.
Okay, I'm sorry. Damn it.
Wait. Staubach. Excuse me, Staubach can the great grandson of Roger Staubach can
Dave's
block.
the GM. Let Dave do it.
All right.
Enough from the peanut gallery, biased peanut gallery.
I'm not biased. I took Hendon Hooker for you.
All right.
Let's see.
You tell me where you want me to go if I need to go anywhere.
Should I go a kicker here? Noah Ruggles. No, I'm kidding.
No, wrong. I like the signing of Bailey today. I like that a lot.
I'm gonna go my guy called Damian Pierce of 2023, Cameron Peoples.
There you go. This is looking awfully familiar. All right.
I haven't had I had one trade offer for my first one and then nothing after.
Yep, same.
Because they love your pick so much.
And damn, Cleveland's giving me something that I don't want to use to next year's draft.
Tight end. Gotta click on the logo,
Yes, sir.
World Baseball
Sorry.
Classic.
please. So I got your tackle, tight end, running back. Okay. Please close the window. Thank you. I'm gonna go Anthony Orgy out of Vanderbilt. Get you a linebacker.
There you go.
All right, that's a good.
Simple,
like
sweet,
that.
to the point. Cody Mock, offensive tackle. He can play any position. Offensive
He
guard,
can,
offensive
yeah.
tackle. He's just
Center.
unbelievable. I love that guy. So perfect fit.
No
Dalton
teeth. I
Kincaid,
love it.
tight end. I think he reminds. I'm gonna say it like this. I don't mean it in a bad way. Reminds me of Mike Gesicki, but he's a better version of Gesicki coming out. Great
He won
weapon.
more than one route.
Yes.
We've got Davey
Cameron
Hooker.
Peoples, running back out of Appalachian State, and then Ernefe Orji out of Vanderbilt.
Hooker.
So there you go. All right.
Awesome.
All right. So great. Haven't got the Hooker. John. So guys, I don't know if you did
Where'd
say this
Malloy
or not,
go?
or if you put it here. But
So sleepy.
who had the better draft? drafted. Stop it, Evan. You liar.
I don't know.
I took a
man.
quarterback.
It's
Best
not
draft
even-
ever.
no, it's not even that. Like he really did act. But listen,
I
mine
like
was
the
between
hint. I like
Bobby
the hint
and
that
Evan
pick.
because the Giants offered up
Yeah.
half the draft. Like once you
Yeah.
get that, you can't turn it down, and then you just get quality for the rest of the time. So I
Yep.
just
Yeah, I didn't
So,
get shit for drafts.
Evan's
So-
got a good one because he had a couple trade backs. He doubled his picks, but he also got his QB of the future if Tua doesn't work out.
Yeah.
I
But
love
also,
it.
too, you guys stapled the positions, and Mike did too with his 4 picks.
All right, so here we go. Awesome job, guys.
On
Great.
the clock.
Now we're moving on the clock. We are running behind, but that's okay.
We're in no rush. It's Friday.
So let's go ahead and Dave, are
Walk
you
in
good
my
to
dog,
talk about
Evan.
Trenton Simpson out of Clemson?
Your dog's named Evan, Steve? That's so nice of you.
Yeah, I could talk about him a little bit. I just I'm not the biggest fan of him. I think he's
Don't
gonna be
like
one of
him.
the biggest-
Who?
I think he's going to be one of the biggest fallers in the draft.
Who's
Damn.
that?
All right. I guess I want to play my video.
All
All right.
right.
Let me just say, everybody, thank you all for watching. You're watching On the Clock. Smash that like and subscribe button. You got Dave Stager on the bottom right of Huddle Up and Wait. You got Michael Vogel of the Fins Bandwagon and draft content on the Fins Talk Sports Network. Got Evan Poser to my right. Yes. Of Fins Bandwagon. And then, of course, you got me, Bobby Finstock of the Finstock Sports Network. So we're on the clock. First off, before we move on to Trenton Simpson, let's talk about some draft rumors here. And Dave, I'm going to start with you, brother, because you talk NFL. We all talk NFL, but you host Huddle Up and Wait. And the Bears, the rumor is the Bears are targeting offensive line with the 9th overall pick after acquiring DJ Moore from the Panthers. Schefter reports from ESPN that Georgia defensive lineman Jalen Carter may fall to the Bears because of what's been going on with him. Should the Bears, if Carter's there, should they take Carter or should they just focus on offensive line here?
So I've got a 2-parter. So one, yes, if Jalen Carter does fall, which I don't think he will, because you've got multiple teams in front that have horrible defensive lines, like Lions, like I said earlier, that could take him. You've also got the Falcons ahead of them, and the Falcons. If you put him, Jalen Carter, from his hometown back in Georgia next to Grady Jarrett, that is going to be one of the most ferocious defensive line. I don't see him falling to the Bears as much as I love to do that, but it's just I don't see it happen. That's why I said, and then you see all the offensive linemen the Bears passed on in free agency. They didn't sign not one tackle. They signed Nate Davis, who's a guard from Tennessee, but they didn't sign any tackles, and they missed on McGlinchey, Juwan Taylor, Orlando Brown, all these big tackles they missed on. So it's either Broderick Jones, Paris Johnson, Peter Skoronski. That's the 3 big threshold guys right there that they're going to take, and they're going to put, in my opinion, they need to take Braxton Jones, no disrespect, put him at right tackle, and put any one of those guys at left tackle. They're meaner. They're better in run blocking. I just like them better overall as a premier left tackle than Braxton Jones.
Michael, you study draft. You're an offensive line guy. You're the trenches, dude. The 3 top offensive linemen there. You got Broderick Jones out of Georgia. You got Peter Skoronski out of Northwestern. You got Paris Johnson out of Ohio State. I was getting to it, but if you're sitting there and those 3 guys are on the board still, and you're the Bears, who's the guy you're going to get?
Broderick Jones.
Real okay. Tell me why.
I kind of fell in love with him when we were working the tackles early on in the first couple episodes. He's got a mean streak to him. He was guarding, like there's couple plays he's guarding 2 guys at one time. He finishes real well. I just like he's got a little nasty streak in him that I don't necessarily see. And
plays
Skoronski,
multiple positions.
Yeah. And I don't know. I felt like he was more athletic in my opinion than Paris Johnson.
Okay, Dave, how do you feel about that? What offensive lineman would you take with that pick if you're running the Bears?
If I run the Bears, like I said, if I'm personally running them, I would take Braxton Jones, move him to right. Paris, the only knock I have about him is he is so damn tall that he doesn't get his pads down low enough sometimes, and it's just a natural thing because he's so big. And it's such a sad knock to do, but it's just true. So if you're going to show me which one of the best pass blocking, run blocking tackles, Roger Jones is just a mean jerk SOB in the trenches, and he will just murder you. Skoronski, he may have shorter arms, but that dude will pancake your butt every single time. Both those guys.
You know who his dad is?
Huh?
You know who his dad was?
Yeah, it's the arm wrestling champ, isn't it?
No. Oh yeah, but you know who his grandfather was?
I don't know, a Navy sailor.
Nope. His name was
Do you
Bob
know who his
Skoronski.
cousin is?
He played for the Packers and won 5 NFL championships.
Ooh.
I mean, I appreciate that. Well, guess what? That's why we're taking Project Jones. You're not going to solve that worldwide.
He said,
He's connected to the Packers.
But I have a question.
Thanks for the knowledge.
Anthony, no, I don't see him. Cody Mount can jump into the first, no question. But it's not going to be anywhere top 15 above. That's not.
They had a front row seat to Skoronski in Chicago. The hometown kid from Illinois. I have a feeling that Poles wants to make a splash. He wants to make Chicago people happy. He might, if he has to take the best lineman, he might just go with his hometown boy.
So I have a question for Dave.
No.
If those 3 linemen are on the board and Carter, would you go Carter? Or are you taking the offensive
question?
lineman?
That's a good question.
Like we don't feel like he's. I don't think he's going to be, but that's just that's one of those things.
I don't know he's going to be, but if he is, this is why I also look at the other option, the third option. At 9, teams are going to be calling the trade up for Jalen Carter because he fell that far.
That's true.
I also look at that and say, if I can get another first out of this and double back for a team that has 2 firsts in the first round still.
Thank you, G-Man.
Yep.
I love G-Man now.
That's a good point.
G-Man proved my point.
God. Because they need – Justin Fields, you saw him get murdered every play last year.
He had to run around like you've never seen.
So – let's continue this here.
I'm going to go tackle still. I'm going to go straight back, take a tackle.
Damn.
Include your draft picks even more and literally build from the ground up with your base draft pick that you get as a GM.
Who's the 10th pick?
Eagles, Philly.
Damn. Oh, that would be
Bashawn Robinson all day long.
Oh, my goodness. All right. So
they're taking Bashawn.
Anyway, all right. So let's go. Let's talk about the number 1 overall pick. And let's talk about the Carolina Panthers. They made that big trade with the Bears and made the Bears have the 9th pick. They supposedly, according to Tony Pauline, they're split between 2 quarterbacks. One being Ohio State's C.J. Stroud and the other being Florida Anthony Richardson.
I don't think they are.
No, they're not.
I think it's Stroud or Young, if anything. I don't think they're
Young.
Richardson.
If they take Richardson, they're going to be laughed out of the building.
First of all, I don't think so. I don't think they would. Maybe by you, but I don't think by people who know. Because I think the NFL is trending in that direction. I think, you might be looking at him in college and you go, but when you start
they're not taking him 1. They're not taking him 1.
Well, they have the first pick. I'm talking about why it can
I'm just telling you, they will be
it would be stupid
the wrong way.
I think it would be dumb because you could get him. You probably could have got him or traded him for 6 or whatever.
Yeah, you didn't have to move up to get him.
Yeah, you didn't have to move up. But the thing is, teams are very intrigued by that type of potential. That's what would, if he was to go number 1, it's because of potential.
They said the same thing about DeMarcus Russell.
They said the same thing about Josh Allen. Look at Josh Allen.
Look where Josh Allen was picked. And it took him 3 years to get there. Josh Allen was not a good quarterback till his 3rd year, and we all know it. He developed.
Doesn't matter. His potential was there. That's why they took him.
Potential in the 3rd year. But maybe some quarterbacks should be given to the 3rd year to have potential. I can name a few.
Didn't Josh
Our
Allen
quarterbacks been given more?
Josh Allen also had
1 year.
Josh Allen had more playing time than
Brian Flores,
right?
That's true. Yeah, he did.
Whereas Richardson only played 1 season, or has
that's the potential part.
That's my.
That's left the room.
That's just That's I don't see that happening. I don't think
they can't draft. McKenzie wasn't there for those bad drafts in 18 with Eichenberg. I don't think he was there yet. Read my last comment. Will Levis is my pick because I'm basing it on the fan base there. They really never got behind Cam Newton, so I'm saying they drop Levis instead of Stroud. They draft Levis instead of Stroud.
They're not drafting Levis.
No,
I think I'm leaning more. I see Stroud there, but honestly, I'm leaning more towards Bryce Young. I think
they're going to take Bryce Young. I made that call during our mock draft. They're taking Bryce Young.
All right, so we're going to go and talk about, let's do another rumor, and then we'll talk about prospect review before we close this out. And this one is close, near and dear to Mr. Dave's heart. According to Justice Mosqueda of Acme Packing Company, numerous Packers scouts hold Tennessee wide receiver Jalen Hyatt in high regard. Dave, would you be happy if the Packers drafted Jalen Hyatt?
I'd be ecstatic. Like my comp, I've had him after watching his tape. The first guy that jumps off the room was Chris Olave. Like the way they moved, the way they were able to kind of get in and out of their breaks, the quick reaction in the areas to make people miss. It just screamed Olave. And yeah, he may be a little bit lighter in the pants than Olave, but guess what? There's an NFL weight room for a reason.
Exactly.
He's got the height. He's got his hands. This is one of the few guys in this draft class I have never seen a body catch. He's always got hands out, hands in front of him. That ball's secured every time. Now, Cedric Tillman, this is where I say, and I truly believe this.
Go ahead. I would love to hear
Tennessee's 3 wide receivers, I'll gladly take any day long. With Trey Palmer, with Cedric Tillman, with Jalen Hyatt, they're all absolute studs. And Tillman would have been the first one if he hadn't gotten injured, but Hyatt stepped up, and that's why he's here. Hyatt,
he was a favorite target of Hooker.
Yeah, Hyatt would be that guy to just come in and kind of be that immediate wide receiver one. If he's not, he's going to be a wide receiver two. He's that good as a rookie. I feel like people are sleeping on him a big time. And it's kind of surprising because Tennessee had one of the most explosive offenses with Hooker healthy. So I just feel that like Hyatt and Tillman and Palmer, if you guys, and not saying the Dolphins need to do this, but if you guys get extra picks after trades, and you have kind of that luxury pick after because you get him like a move back 10 picks and you get 2 picks in between the next one you got originally. Yeah. And you got Trey Palmer there or something?
Let me say this before at least this is what Dave just said.
About the Dolphins after.
Hold on. Let me just say this again. What'd you say about the Dolphins? I'm sorry.
The one thing that was interesting about the Dolphins, just related to the draft that we didn't think about. Yeah. If you happen to notice, just we didn't talk about it. A lot. You don't, like you said, best player available. They might go after wide receiver because a lot of the signings they did this week, if you look, the majority of them, outside of David Long, they can get out in the first year. That's what Chris Greer is amazing at. He gets out of contracts in a year. He definitely he made the mistake with Cedric Wilson. I think that's what he's realizing with the Cedric Wilson signing. He cannot do that or the trade. So he needs to find a way to be very quick because of their window and the fact that they want to win over the next few years. He's not willing to commit long term to people anymore.
So that's great because we just synchronized there because that's exactly what I was going to say. The contracts, this is what I like about the Dolphins free agency so far. Yeah, they basically filled most of their needs. Okay, they still got some moves left, but all these, it's not like you look at this and go, well, they filled everything. Now they're not going to get like we were talking about secondary. They're not going to get a receiver. They're not going to get.
Just beat Purdue.
They could easily say what?
FDU just beat Purdue in the North.
Whoa! Holy moly! I saw your face. I was going to ask you, but
sorry,
no, you're good. But then my point is that they could easily best player available. They could go number 1, go with the 51st pick. Maybe surprise they could go corner. They could go safety. They could go wide receiver. Okay, and then they go, okay, well, we got this guy. He shows up at camp. Now we can cut one of these other guys because we're gonna go. Oh, we signed Craycraft, which is great. If he's on the roster, perfect. Because Miami could go in the season with these guys on their roster and still be a competitive football team. Or they have the luxury now to either go best player available, whomever that may be, or use this pick, get the 51st pick, and pair it with the other one for next year, and go get a Dalvin Cook or whatever. Give them complete flexibility. Finally, let's talk about before we close this out. I'm giving it to
1 second. Thing just popped out real quick. Apparently, the Raiders tried to attempt for the first overall pick and almost got it, but the Bears picked the Panthers because they believe they're going to be worse next year than the Raiders. But they asked for 2023 first, 2023 second, 2 future first-round picks, and a future second-round pick. So it's almost the identical deal, but the Raiders didn't want to do it, and that's why the Panthers jumped on it. So
did they have the press conference today in the end, or they didn't have?
Yeah, Jimmy G's a Raider, so he's locked up.
Yeah.
What do you think the holdback was?
It was
Dave talked
contract.
about- yeah, Dave talked about that last night. The contract.
I know, but it wasn't
situation.
finalized yet. So I didn't know what was gonna.
It's done. He signed. He held up his jersey and everything today.
All right, so our last touch point here, and it's going to be Dave who takes the floor. Wingate was going to do it, but Wingate has other things. The Steelers. The report is the Steelers are keeping a close eye on Clemson linebacker Trenton Simpson. I know. Try to say his pros and also his cons. But what's the big? I mean, we're talking. I know that he met with the Dolphins as well, so this kind of falls on that.
Give it to the Miami Dolphins.
Is he going to? Can he fall to Miami, or why would he get taken in the first round? Let's talk about him. Go ahead, Dave.
So I think he has still a good shot to be taken in the first round. I still think he's one of those guys. He has an impressive base tape. He's not but there's still things missing. That's my concern. So I'm going to start off with the concerns real quick. He's not a one-size-fits-all prospect for a scheme fit, meaning he only has limited schemes he can play in, and I just don't know if he would be able to fit in Miami. I know Miami met with him, but I just don't like what he offers and what Fangio's defense it means. Now, he has trouble setting the edge or to deconstruct blocks as well, and I'm a little iffy on that. Now, the reasons if you want to try and draft him in the first round or if he does follow the Dolphins, he has very explosive hitting power. It means people don't get up. He's going to bring them down first touch. He has really good range in coverage and also in pursuit. But it's when blockers are on him, that's the trouble. I mean, but I think coaching can definitely fix it. That's why I think if he falls out of the first, Miami should hop on it because Fangio needs linebackers, but I just don't know if it's what he wants in his defense.
Great. I think that's actually pretty fair. You're pretty fair. Michael, you're still up?
Yeah, I'm
No,
still here.
old man.
No, I keep dropping my phone. It's bad for business. I apologize.
The old man days.
Come on, Grandpa. No, just what are your thoughts on Trenton? I know you said you're not a fan either, but let's say he's at 51 in that spot. Would you be happy if Miami took him there?
I mean, ultimately, it's it's a Fangio decision. If Fangio thinks that he's going to be a stud in his defense, then I'm not going to question it. There's other picks that I would like to have there, but I think Fangio knows what he's doing at this point. If he wants to go get him, I think that's a fair shot.
Very cool. All right, guys. Hey, let me just go ahead. Thank everybody. We ran a little over. That's okay. Thank everyone for tuning in. You're watching On the Clock. We appreciate you. You come back every Friday night, 8 o'clock Eastern. We talk draft. Until the draft, it's going to be exciting when we do it. Smash that like and subscribe button. That's Evan Posner of the Fins Bandwagon. That's Michael Vogel of the Fins Bandwagon. There it is. That's Dave Stager of Huddle Up and Wait. And Dave, who's been an awesome addition to the team here for On the Clock. He has to go back to work, so this will be his last On the Clock until the draft. So
when you work, you have to not be here. You work at night?
Yeah, so no, it's the fact that I'm on shift work, but the new schedule that everyone picked when I was out is every Friday's on the schedule for how it rotates.
So
days and nights.
Obviously, he offers great insight into the NFL draft. NFL
I'll try to hop
rumors,
on days, but nights just
Yeah. So, but if you want to catch Dave to his opinion on the draft, the rumors, etc., tune in to Huddle Up and Wait on Thursday nights at 8 o'clock Eastern, sometimes 9 o'clock, depending on availability, but Thursday nights. Tomorrow, tune in 12 o'clock Eastern. We got Fins Talk Today with Fish Tank Hank and myself, talking about the free agency, draft, etc., etc. And of course,
Fish Tank is not happy. I can tell you that.
Probably about offensive line, right?
Oh, he ain't happy at all.
That's right. So tune in tomorrow. Thank you all
tomorrow
for tuning in. G-Man, Anthony, Steve, Daniel, everyone. I appreciate you. Rob in the house. Check out DolphinsThirsty.com. Awesome stuff. Appreciate you all. Like, subscribe. And if you're a Dolphins fan, Dave, fins up.
Fins down.